Welcome back to Book, Body, and Beyond. My name is Ross, and today we are talking about the Tetramorph. We get the word Tetramorph from the Greek tetra, meaning four, and morph, which means to change or transition or transform, typically in a gradual or a seamless way. You've probably seen it if you visited churches or cathedrals, or perhaps in art at art museums, or even on tarot cards like the World and the Wheel of Fortune cards. But since it's Wednesday, that means the Tetramorph can be found in the Bible. If you turn to Ezekiel 1:10, it says, "As for the likeness of their faces, they four had the face of a man and the face of a lion on the right side, and they four had the face of an ox on the left side. They also had the face of an eagle." Ezekiel is, of course, Old Testament, so let's flip to the New Testament version of that. We're in Revelation 4, verse 7. Where it says, "And the first beast was like a lion, and the second beast was like a calf. And the third beast had a face as a man, and the fourth beast was like a flying eagle." We can also find the Tetramorph in Numbers 2, where we have the order of the tribes of Israel. So on the east side, toward the rising sun, we have the tribe of Judah, which is the lion. On the south side, we have Reuben, which is represented by a man. On the west side, we have Ephraim, who is our ox or our bull. And to the north, we have the camp of Dan, which is represented by a snake or an eagle. So if you know your Mazzaroth, which can be, of course, found in Job 38:32, you'll know that these four particular creatures are the four fixed signs of the zodiac. And why the fixed signs in particular? Well, let's go back to Ezekiel 1:9 this time, the verse before 1:10, of course. Verse 9 says, "Their wings were joined one to another. They turned not when they went. They went every one straight forward," or fixed, if you will. So in astrology, which is the foundation of books like the Bible and religion, we have three different modalities and four different elements that are assigned to the 12 signs of the zodiac. But rather than just tell you about astrology, let's take a look at some astrology that can be found in this monastery. So here we have a picture of Jesus, who is the Son of God, in the middle of the 12 signs of the zodiac, very fittingly. There's a lot going on in this particular illustration, too much for us to cover in this video, so we're just going to focus on those four fixed signs of the zodiac, which of course are going to be the bull of Taurus, the lion of Leo, in this case, not the scorpion or the snake, but the eagle, actually, of Scorpio, and then the man, which is Aquarius, the water bearer. And these are also our four gospel writers, Matthew being the man, represented by Aquarius, the water bearer. We have Mark, who is Leo, the lion. We have Luke, who is Taurus, the bull. And then we have John, who is Scorpio, in this case, again, the eagle. And I think it's important to remember the definition of Tetramorph, like we talked about in the beginning, which is these four things that are being transformed. They're changing, typically in a gradual or a seamless way, much like our four seasons do. And you'll notice that even the Freemasons recognize the Tetramorph in their symbolism. You've got the lion, the bull, the man, and the eagle in their symbolism as well in the Royal Arch. So the next time you find yourself in a church or a cathedral and you see these four creatures, whether it's in the architecture or maybe in art, I invite you to ask people, maybe a deacon or a leader in the church, what they mean. It never ceases to amaze me, the different answers I get, all of which don't make any sense. And that's typically because people in the church have not been studying their Mazzaroth. We'll be covering much more of the Mazzaroth in future videos, but that's going to do it for today. So that is Ezekiel, that's Revelation, that's some numbers, that's the four gospel writers. Next week, I look forward to talking about the next major prophet in the Old Testament, which is Daniel. We'll see you then.